Yep. Was anybody surprised? Put your hand up. Put a comment down below. I bet there's no comments because nobody watched these videos when Rebels are involved anyway. Were you surprised that the Rebels choked up again in the last play of the match? I've seen this for so many years now, right? We've talked about this. The Rebels are a group of no heart garbage players, and yeah, that's. I don't even know what to say, man. This game was. The Chiefs actually played really poorly this game. They were just gifting points away to the Rebels. Literally gifting points away. Seems to be some kind of communication errors in a lot of times. They were Josh Ioane had a pretty shocking game this game. Threw quite a few literally tries for the Rebels. 2 tries I think was because of his errors. Maybe a third one as well. And the Rebels was able to stay ahead, try to keep themselves in the play with some penalty goals, and just literally gifted points from the Chiefs. The Chiefs was able to build more consistency overall throughout the game. I felt the Rebels was able to hold out quite a bit, but again, the defense from the Rebels, once the pressure piles on, there's no hard garbage players. Just give up. You just give up. Just let them through. There's a bit of a there's so many soft tries given to the Chiefs by the Rebels. Just no defense. Just letting them through, including the final one that was scored on the last 30 seconds of the match, 9 seconds of the match. Was just the Chiefs did nothing fancy, just running at the 9-10 channel. Around the rocks, just pick and go sort of thing. Not even pick and go, just like one ball, 9-10 channel, just crash. And the defense from the Rebels was not fronting up. You can see people there. There were people there. It's near the rocks. And this is literally like 3 or 4 faces already by the same rock. Like you can see the Chiefs are going in the same spots. And people are just not fronting up for the tackles. There's some of the Rebels forwards, I've spoken about this before, don't seem to know how to tackle. Elof don't seem to know how to tackle. But yeah, anyway, and he was involved in this. This last try. He was trying to make a tackle and a bit too late. And Chiefs gets over last minute for a try. I actually thought the Rebels were going to... I lied. I actually thought the Rebels were doing really well. I didn't think they were going to win. I actually thought the Rebels were doing really well, managing the last bits of the game, trying to close out the game. And I was just literally thinking to myself, how could this possibly go wrong? The Chiefs were just doing so poorly, right? So with about 5 minutes left, the Chiefs basically... things went really bad for the Chiefs. I was like, surely that the Rebels has to I was just like, let's just go through what happened, right? So basically, let's see what happened here. Yeah, so let's all kind of started in the 65th minute when basically the Rebels, I think it was, who was it? Number 10. God, I can't remember his name anymore. Suddenly, I knew his name. Anyway, he puts up a high ball for again on the Chiefs. Retards was chasing. Nobody in the Chiefs team was getting the ball. Yeah, I know. I actually couldn't believe how can they make, maybe people were making there was a communication error or something. Commentators were saying there was a bit of wind going on. The ball kind of maybe landed in a spot that the players weren't expecting, but nobody was actually contesting this ball. Retards just catches the ball on the full and runs in a huge open space. Bit of footwork, goes in for a try. Suddenly, put the Rebels within 2 points reach of the Chiefs. Chiefs was leading. And on the 72nd minute, Chiefs were just getting was not going anywhere. They were just getting hammered by the Rebels. On the receiving end of it, giving them a penalty. So Rebels takes a 3, 72nd minute, puts himself 1 point ahead. 27-26, okay? Which is fine. With less than 10 minutes, that's kind of how you manage the game, right? 2 minutes later, things got worse for the Chiefs. Chiefs gets a yellow card for a high shot. So Chiefs are playing down to 14 players with 1 point behind with just a bit over 5 minutes left. Okay, so things are going pretty bad for the Chiefs. And then, literally 1 minute later, things got even worse. Chiefs was on the receiving end of it, gets a penalty, gets caught offside. Retards slots another 3. So with 5 minutes left, the Rebels are up 4 points 29 points to 24. And you think to yourself, that's good. That's how you want to manage the game. You don't want the Chiefs to just win again with a penalty kick. You want them to score a try to actually beat you by running through your defense. If you man up on your defense, you know, hopefully you are able to hold this out. 5 minutes left, not too bad. And then Chiefs got even worse. So I literally wrote in my note at this point, this is a looking book good for the Rebels, okay? And the things got even worse for the Chiefs. They had a 22-meter line out. They have finally got into the Rebels half, put some pressure on, got themselves a 22-meter line out, right? And this was about 3 minutes left, okay? 3 minutes left, 22-meter line out. Basically, I was thinking about this is your last chance of scoring a point. And the line out comes in. The Rebels steals the line out. I couldn't believe it. I was like, they're doing it. Guys, the Rebels are doing it. They stole the line out with 2 minutes left on the clock. You just have to manage and you win the game. So as soon as this line out was stolen, you can see like almost all the players just had that fear cloud just grip through the entire team on the Rebels. You can see it. Like everybody was like just, you know, deer in the headlight look. Nobody seems to know what's going on at this point. Suddenly, it was like that. Like suddenly the whole Rebels team just looked like deers in front of the headlight. Like nobody seems to know what's going on. So they had to do a clearance kick, right? It took them like 30 seconds to do, which is fine. Like, you know, you gotta try and run the clock down a bit. But you can see it. Everybody's shaking. The referee's telling them the ball is out of the 22. You can't kick it out on the full. So the Rebels throws the ball back to, I think, who was it? Gordon. Carter Gordon. There you go. Number 10's there. I think it was Carter Gordon. Maybe it was Callaway. So he can't kick out on full. So he tried to do like some weird looking kick. He tried to like chip over the top or something. I honestly don't know what he's trying to do here. You might like, if you can't kick it out on a full, just belt it down the field, right? You look like he tried to kick it over the top. He tried to do a chip kick or something, but that doesn't matter. But he does a kick. He got charged. He got charged down a bit. It didn't get charged down, but it was touched by the Chiefs player. So the ball didn't go as far as you would. Just kind of went from the 20 inside the Rebels 22 to about the 40-meter line, right? Like just inside the Rebels on the 40-meter line. So the Chiefs, exactly what you don't want. Giving the ball back to the Chiefs, and also the fact that the ball was touched by the Chiefs means that the Rebels had no offside, so you could easily turn this ball over. Again, the entire Rebels team was just like looking at this, like almost not knowing what's going on. So then the Chiefs starts attacking from the Rebels 40 meters out, right? And then there was like a minute left on the clock. I'm just thinking to myself, the Chiefs hasn't, you know, like how are they going to score this one, right? They're 40 meters out, how are they going to score this one? Turns out, when you're playing against the Rebels, you just have to run at them. And they're just going to give you 10 meters, 20 meters every time you carry the ball. And that's exactly what happened. It didn't even take them that many phases. The Chiefs, it didn't take them like 20 phases, right? It took them probably like 7 phases to go from 40 to scoring a try. And every time the Chiefs carry the ball, nothing fancy, just one-off pass, 2 passes, crash balls, and the Rebels were just, you know, getting over the advantage line 5 meters, 10 meters at a time. And like, they're not even getting the offload off. It's not even like they're getting over the advantage line and able to get more meters out from getting an offload. No, just take the tackle, pick the ball up, get someone else to have another go. Take another 10 meters, someone else have another go. Another 10 meters, and eventually, Josh Ioane did a bit of redemption, I guess. Just picks up the ball at like the halfback position, essentially. Sees a little gap, runs through, takes the ball into the 22, getting quite dangerous at this point. And then I'm just like, come on, he's just literally running the ball into the 9 and 10 channel, like next to the rocks. This, like, the entire 4-pack is there. Somebody has to defend him. And then, sure enough, Ollie Norris gets the ball, and he just runs straight at the exact same channel that Ioane just made a break, half break, the 9-10 channel, and he goes in for the try. Elof was trying to make tackle, way too late. I don't know. I don't know how like you can consistently go in the same attack channel and nobody's there to front up the defense. And that was it. The Chiefs wins this one in the dying seconds. Anyway, let's go through some stats and let's maybe have a look at some of the bizarre moments in this game. So the match stats, believe it or not, the Rebels had better stats at halftime, despite the fact that Chiefs was leading. Chiefs were like, not better stats, but had better efficiency, I would say, at Rebels. The halftime score was 10 points to 12, and Chiefs had 189 run meters to the Rebels, 198 run meters, which means with only 41 carries to the Rebels 189 run meters to the Chiefs 198. So pretty close in terms of run meters, but the Rebels only had 41 carries to the Chiefs 64 carries. So the Rebels were actually high efficient in the carrying. The Chiefs was doing a lot of like poor kicking in the first half. 14 kicks in the first half for the Chiefs, 9 for the Rebels. Not much else was happening in the first half. Penalty count for the Rebels a little bit high at 8 at halftime. 5 penalties against the Chiefs. So at full time, the Rebels completely fell apart a bit. Looked like 383 run meters to the Rebels, 431. So like I mentioned, the run meters was pretty close for both teams at halftime. Turnovers conceded, the Chiefs got really bad overall. 12 overall to the Rebels 5. At halftime, Chiefs conceded 5 turnovers and Rebels only conceded 1. So the Rebels were doing better in that front. Tackles, mate. This is I don't know what to say. 35 missed tackles for the Rebels to the Chiefs only 10. So the Chiefs defense was much better. Kicking play. Like I mentioned at halftime, the Rebels was losing the kicking by 9-14. But the second half, the Rebels was able to come back with good management, with the kicking management, 23-22. So the Rebels actually came back with the kicking. And the lineouts were pretty bad for both teams, losing quite a few for both sides. The scrum I thought it was okay. I thought the Chiefs might have a bit of a dominance. There was 1 scrum penalty, I think, against the Rebels. Penalty count 11-12. 1 yellow card for both teams. The yellow card for the Rebels was pretty stupid. What's next? Fa'u Musili, the prop, pushes. He kind of like was offside. He put a big shot on Josh Lord, and then after he got hit, like literally as the same thing is happening. As he's getting up off the ground, following the big shot, he gets pushed from behind. He wasn't happy about that. He runs back. And this was like still during the middle of the play. Into the ruck from behind, from the Chiefs side, pushes a guy out of the ruck, Josh Lloyd out of the ruck. So he gets a yellow card for something silly like that. Got a bit smarter than that, mate. And then like I said, the Chiefs yellow card was happening in the last 5 minutes of the game, and they still able to score a try with a player in the bin. And yeah, so overall, the game, let's have a quick look. So there was some really stupid stuff. Let's just quickly go through some of the tries. So Jacobson crashes over the Chiefs. Took 24 minutes for the Chiefs to score their first try. Quite stale at the beginning. The Rebels had 2 options to kick for penalties. They missed one. They get the first. They get 1. So the Rebels and Chiefs, 25 minutes in the game. 3 points to the Rebels. What was it? 7 points to the Chiefs. And then it took like 5 minutes longer for the Chiefs to score the second point. And this one was a beautiful try. Quinton Tupaya, not Quinton Tupaya, I guess, not Quinton Tupaya. Yeah, no, it is Quinton Tupaya. Is it? Am I? Anyway, Tupaya makes a nice little half break. He sets up like a half swat at the breakdown, and then they just had like Sam Kane as the first receiver, and he loops ball behind to Ioane. Ioane just gets the ball, incredibly lightning hands, quick inside ball to short runner. I think he was the fullback. Crashes, and it looked like the fullback could have probably scored. He had one player at the try line, flat footer. He probably could just run him over, but he sees the winger out wide, Tia out wide, throws a big long pass to Tia, goes in wide open space. Second try for the Chiefs just before halftime, and then 30 minutes in, sorry, and just before halftime on 38th minute, Rebels gets a yellow card just before this as well. So the Rebels was actually looking really down and out following this. They might consider another point. The Chiefs are piling the pressure, and then Jay Gordon managed to read the play from, like I said, the Ioane was having Ioane was having a bit of a poor game this game, so he was just throwing like a lot of sloppy passes. He throws a sloppy pass. Jay Gordon's intercept this, runs 60 meters for a try for the Rebels. Suddenly halftime score 10 points to 12, despite the Rebels seemingly was going to probably consider another try before halftime. So that was a really good effort by Gordon to gift it. So the first try for the Rebels gifted But Giovanni, really poor pass. Literally went to like nobody except like there was 2 players there. You went between them, and then what's the name? Gordon managed to get the intercept. And then on the second half starts, the 6th minute into the second half, I think this was another gifted try. Let me have a look. Yeah. So again, the Chiefs were attacking. Another loose puck by Giovanni, and the ball kind of like bounces on the ground. Andrew Callaway runs up, kicks the ball forward, and then just runs down the field. Nobody on the Chiefs team was even close to him. Picks the ball up, pumps in for a try. So another gifted try, 6 minutes into the second half for the Rebels. And then the Chiefs has to do some work, actual work to get their first try on the ball in the second half. So they were basically, they looked like there was one point where the Chiefs ran into their own players for obstruction, but the referee was really close. I think he probably deemed that another play pushed into him from the Rebels side. But it looked like there was an obstruction on the 54th minute. But anyway, Giovanni redeems himself with a nice little break. He links up with his fullback, and then who links up with their number 14, Tuck, and then they got really, really close. This nice sequence of play made him really close, about 5 meters out from the line out. And Takiyaho, the big hooker, All Black prospect, picks up the ball, sees the try line, big leg drive. 5, I kid you not, 5 Rebels players tries to hold him out, and he pumped his legs, drives through for the first try for the Chiefs in the second half. Yeah, really, really, really good. 17 points to 19 for the Chiefs, gets himself ahead again. On the 62nd minute, Chiefs gets their second try in the second half. There was just, again, this was a really, really soft try against the Rebels. The Chiefs had like a 22-meter line out against the Rebels. The line out comes in, the ball just goes to, the ball comes out, like pretty standard stuff, goes out to the 9. 9 throws the ball to Narawa. I think he was meant to like crash the ball or pass the ball. He gets the ball. He like hits his head a little bit. He hits his head a bit. He doesn't look like, he looked like he was thinking about passing, and then he just saw like a massive gap in front of him, and he takes a run. Try. Yeah. No one was there to tackle him. He just like, this is a line out. The defensive line is set up. He gets the ball. He hits it, and he goes, "Hey, nobody's here. I'm just gonna go for a run." I genuinely don't know what happened there. Like, that was an extremely soft try. On the 3 minutes later, another gifted try for all 3 tries from the Rebels are gifted from gifts from the Chiefs. So again, like I said again, Gordon puts a high ball up. Reese Hodge chasing Chiefs. Nobody was there to catch this high ball. Reese Hodge catches on a full. No one is even there to touch it to contest this, and he just runs through for a try. 65 minutes. So, and then, like I just mentioned, the Rebels gets 2 penalties in the last minute, gets himself back ahead by 4, and then Chiefs gets a yellow card. Last minute of the game, Chiefs runs the ball 40 meters to score a try with Norris on the 79th point, 30 seconds before halftime, before full time to win the game. Are you surprised? The Chiefs got out of jail for that one. Let me know if you're surprised. Like, honestly, if you're surprised to see this, let me know, because I know there won't be any comments about that, because we've seen this from the Rebels way too many times. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate you being here. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys on Tuesday for the news. Some big news came out, I heard, from Rugby Australia. We'll talk about that on Tuesday. Thanks, guys. See you guys week.